Alexa, turn on Dynamic Duo. See if I can get my stuff in place here. Chop off my head. What's that? I'm all off the screen here. Okay, I think I'm up and running here. Boy, that was kind of work. So, I don't know what I'm going to paint. I'm just felt like it's time to get back to painting. I haven't painted in a while. I don't get to do it very often because I'm always doing something else. I mean, it's not the, it's, I won't say I don't get to, I just choose not to because I'm always doing other things. It's not that I mean, I love miniature painting, but it's just, I have way too many hobbies. Not to mention, this game I've been working on is taking up a lot of time. And I'm finally starting to move into a phase of the game where it's going to start being a game. Where you're actually doing stuff and interacting with the game. So I'm excited about that. You know, I've been doing a lot of, you know, the thing is, a lot of game developers, they go at their games when they're developing them for video games from the aspect of the art, which is the front end, the video, the game front end stuff, right? So they're hitting it, the first thing they're doing is the game engine, and they're creating a game as the game, which is, you know, they're creating a game the whole time. Put a guy down, he gets to start moving, he starts attacking stuff, they start attacking back, bam, bam, you're fighting, you're doing something right away. So it's like, as long as you know how to set that stuff up, you're game developing the second you get it going. For mine, I took it from the back end, and I'm building all the underlying infrastructure, all of the data logic, all of the way the parts and the pieces that are going to function in the game are going to be handled, rather than going from a UI first aspect, which means I haven't really got a chance to really develop a lot of game stuff. Now I'm finally starting to move into things that are more gamification. So that's fun. Finally I get to be there, but I like having a nice back-end infrastructure when I'm developing. I don't like, because I think what it would do is I start from the front end, and yeah, it would have probably been cool to get all that going. I would have had to figure, oh, this needs to be attached and that needs to be attached, and before long I'd still be in the back end trying to figure out how to get everything set up to attach it. So my thought is, let's just get it going. You might be wondering, what are these little things here? These are flex iron. These are the things that I sell on my website. They basically, you glue them to the bottom of your minis, like this one here, see? And it's flex iron that when you glue it onto your minis, they'll attach to the magnets that go inside of the Mage Cage that I sell. So the minis don't move around, they just stay in place where you put them. It's a high energy magnetic strip that goes inside the Mage Cages. You can't see them, but I have a bunch of Mage Cages that I put all my miniatures and stuff all around me here. So, anyway. I was trying to, I was streaming a little while ago, and I kept having trouble. My things were crashing and stuff on me. So, and it wasn't me. I don't think it was my side. I think something was going on with my Twitch connection or something. Something was blowing up. Just trying to clear out some of the extraneous stuff in my work area here. to include some of the shavings of crap from previous endeavors. Now before I toss anything here, I'm gonna make sure. Some of these seem weird, but I'm frequently doing variety of different things on my miniatures. And that includes putting things like cork on it, or sometimes I'm cutting pieces of metal or whatever that I need to use to tweak their weapons, or maybe I even pop off something, like cut something or break something off, and I'm unable to find a key element. I've done it. Trust me, I've actually been chipping something and I'm like, oh no, where'd that go? And then I couldn't find it. So I got it magnify, look through that I don't have any like tiny. Oh, look, see, there's a piece right there. This is like somebody's tail piece that broke off. Definitely don't want to lose it. So I don't know where I what else we got here? Oh, look, there's a sword. What the heck? I think this sword I actually purposely replaced because it was too. But I don't know if that is a sword. It might just be a piece of flex iron that looks like a sword. Actually, it'd be a really good sword because it'd be really flexible and it wouldn't break. That's cool. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good katana piece. Look, you see that? Can't even see where I'm at. Alright, so there you go. It's like a little piece of flex iron. That'd be a great katana because it looks like a blade. You know what? I probably should bring my mic closer on. There you go. How's that? So now at least I could probably be heard a little bit. Hopefully it's solid. As I continue to try to figure out how to get my paint area back to normal here. Some pieces, even if I did want to keep them, it's like I'm not sure it's worth it. Because they broke off as it is, so I really want to bother trying to put it back. Alright, let's get that going. All right. Now, I think, what is that? Oh. Am I painting that figure? I don't know what I'm painting. Maybe I'll just start something new so that I can have another figure that's only half painted. This guy needs some serious paint. My son did get me an airbrush replacement. I should probably get that going. I don't remember when he got me this. Was it this year? It's either this year or Father's Day. I think it was Father's Day. He got me this, which is, at least I'm getting it used before. Now, I have never used this gun. My other one died because I lost my I lost the key component, a little tiny pin piece that goes in the nozzle. I don't know if this is any good, but it's got a replaceable. It's got a replaceable pop. That's for a lot of painting. I mean, that's like crazy lots of painting. I mean, this is just the one that comes with it, which is fine. Look at this one. I could paint a house with this one on there. Look at that sucker. That's huge. And it comes with it's so big, it comes with its own pot inside of it. It's got a silver pot in it, but they really added all kinds of extra. You got pot with pot in there. Potty. Every kind of. What's cool about having all these though, is if I don't want to keep changing, if I don't want to keep cleaning out my pot while I'm working, I can just take them out. It'd be kind of cool if I had a place to store them, though. Nice. This got. Oh, is that for the hose? See, here's my. Now this is an expensive gun here too. But I lost the little nozzle point thing. Ugh, so mad. So I gotta figure out what to do. I'm not getting rid of it by any means. It's a good gun. If I can figure out how to find that replacement. It's not that easy to find them though. Well, the thing is, I lost it during unemployment. So the cost is prohibitive when you're unemployed. Everything's cost prohibitive at this point. So if I'm not getting it as a gift, then I'm probably not getting it. That's kind of how it goes at this point. Hey, on the upside, I might get a couple of gifts today. Who knows? Today's my wife arranged for my birthday celebration to be occurring today. So that's going on this afternoon, or later today, this evening. Oh, that must just be the okay, stopper. I guess we're about to find out how good this gun is. 'Cause I know nothing about it. I don't even know what this bottom piece is. Is that like for a bottom feet? I don't even know how this works. It's got this little thing down here. I don't know what the heck that does. It just turns. Turns. A lot one way and a little the other. Is that for this thing? Is that for like bottom gravity feed? No. I have no idea. I don't know if I like the black. I think I'll switch to the silver one. Because the black one, I can't see the paint inside. I don't know how... I can't see how deep or how much is left. It's too black. I mean, it's cool looking, I guess, but I can't see. We'll go with the silver one. Silver is just easier to see the amount of paint you have left in the pot. I don't know when I'll ever use that giant one. I guess if I was like priming a boat ton of minis, like I was an army painter, if I played like Warhammer 40K or something, then I could probably see having a need for those big pots, because you're just doing piles of guys. But that's better. I don't know if I like this one. I'm already complaining. Well, it's got a really deep hole down to the pin. So we're going to see how deep... I mean, it's like it's going to be hard to clean. Oh, I guess I could take this off, though. So, oh well. Let's stop complaining and start doing some painting, shall we? Alright, so I'm going to put some paint on this guy. I can't even... I'm so bad about colors as far as remembering what I used. So I have this app, which is called... In fact, I usually share it on my screen here, so I will do that in just a moment here. Just a minute. I gotta get up. I can't do this while stretching across with this thing on my face. I gotta stop putting that on. So I have this app called Brush Rage. And it's kind of cool. Ooh, do I have... Oh, I do have some of the colors recorded on this. Yes! I'll show it to you in a moment here. Ow! Frickin' frijole. Getting myself too cramped here. I can't move, and that's causing me issues with my... I have too many cans of drink. Look at that. Some XX Ghost and Kickstarts and Muscle Milk and ice. And my seat won't lean back. It's driving me nuts. All right. Okay, sorry about that. So this is brush rage. It's kind of cool. Allows you to track the colors and the various stuff. You could take some progress photos. Now I started work on this guy a while back, a long while back, probably a couple of years back. So it's cool that I have kind of the mix. So I have Army Painter's mid brown and some Slaughter red. Must be what I'm using for his back area there, for his wings. Because everything's kind of got a red in it, so. And oh, by the way, if you're new to watching me paint, as in you've never done it before, I just say that because I don't know that I'm going to be how often I paint. I don't paint a ton. I like to paint more. I wish I did, but there's not enough hours in the day, and I don't have enough Sabbaths to focus on because I keep wanting to work on this game of mine, and it's taking up a lot of my extra hours these days. Don't want to knock that over. I already have a giant cup here. How many cups does one need? All right, let's see if I can come close to what it is I used. All right, so Desolate Brown. It said mid. Desolate. I have strong and light. And that's not it either. Warrior. Military. Leather. Oh, so promptly throwing stuff on the floor. Strong. Leather. Light. I want light. Oh, there it is. There's mid. Mid brown. And Slaughter red. Slaughter red. What is Slaughter red? It's just an Army Painter. It's probably another speed paint. I've been, most of my Army paints lately I've been buying speed paints. And when I say lately, as in my most recent paints, I haven't really been buying a lot of paints. Lately, I go through phases where I'm buying and buying and buying. I've probably got a couple hundred paints, but nothing like some of these guys online, man. They got walls. In fact, they got all the Vallejo and all the Reaper and all the somethings and the something else's, and they got walls and walls. This is my paint stuff. Each one of these holes is probably averaging 30 bottles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 3. So what is that? 240 bottles? Really? That's more than I thought. That's 240. Holy moly! These aren't all full, but still, it's probably something around 200. Jeez, I didn't think I was that high. All right, where is my reds? Slaughter reds. Well, these are my speeds, so they must be over here. That's my blues up there. These are some metallics. Yeah, nope, none of those are it. It must be up here. Got some greens. And various other contrasts in there. I do like the Vallejo speed paints, or express colors. The new ones that they came out with, they're good. They just don't have as many selection right now. They keep saying they're coming out with more, but I got the whole latest set. Oh, there's Slaughter Red. Gotta close. If I don't close, I'm gonna bump it. Knock bottles all over the place. One of the things I'm working on, I've got plans. I want to create a. I want to, with the next X-Case and Mage Cage, I want to create a frame of some kind you can stick in the case that just kind of creates a ledge so that things can't be just easily pushed out. There's no ledge on these things right now. They need a ledge. I think it'd be easy enough. Essentially, just like a little... I'm even thinking what I'd like to do is create like a little paint rack. So you can stick it in there. All your paints can go in. And you can grab stuff out of it. But it's thin and strong enough that you can just pull it out and put it on the table. Like if you want to pull all your paints out and just look through them. You don't have to keep them in the case. Making it easier to move them around. And also there'd be a little... So I got some height there to play with. Not a lot of width. So it couldn't be real thick. But I still think... I think there's something I can do with that. I do notice that some of the Army Painter speed paints do need to be shaken up quite a bit. Especially like, what was the one? I have a Holy White, which by the way is light gray. It's not white. It's supposed to be a speed paint, so it has that effect of, you know, the separating pigments so that you have the light and dark going on. But it's like light gray and less light gray. That's really what it is. It is not the most... It's not the best wash. I have not seen a really good wash white yet. Now, it should be gray and white, but somehow the whites never seem to separate enough on the on any wash white I've seen. It's really just... They all kind of look gray. I mean, it's probably better than straight up white or using gray. I mean... If you really want a good separation of color or a good contrast with white, you kind of have to just do white and gray. I haven't seen a good one yet. If anybody knows of a good wash or speed paint or whatever you want to call them, express paint, that is white, let me know. Because I haven't seen a good one yet. Because I don't think Holy White covers it. And I don't have another one. I have all the express paints from Vallejo, though. None of them are white. So that's not an option. At least I don't think any of them are white. I'm pretty sure none of them are white. I have all my whites and neutral colors in one spot, but I have a lot of grays. A lot of grays. But no other whites. I think I even have a couple of blacks that are, you know, they mix in a little bit of gray, and some of them are okay for the speed paintiness. Oh, I still gotta get... I mean, I keep cleaning this desk, but I've not cleaned it enough. I keep leaving too many things lying around. Alright, let's see how this goes. How many drips of this is it going to take? Build up some pressure. See what this feels like. How about nothing? Oh wow. Check that out. Okay, this little thing is a stopper. Okay. This little guy will tighten it to nothing. Loosen it up. Huh. Interesting. Learning a new spray device here. All right, let's see how this goes. We'll go with what is my ratio? Do I even show my ratio on here? Probably not. 50-50 it says. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we will go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not going to go very far. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's interesting. That doesn't work. That doesn't work with this device. I used to be able to plug it a little bit, and it would force it to bubble back. But it doesn't, because this has air escape. So when I put my finger over the thing, it just blows out the side. That's not gonna work. How do I mix this then, man? I don't know how to mix. I don't know how to mix it when they do stuff like that. Paper clip. Nope. It's coming out. Hopefully it's coming out in consistent coloring, so. Oops, what color does this go on? It goes, the gray one goes on that one. Or does it? No, wait, that's not right. Oh. I have the lid painted. Probably should just look at the painting, huh? All right. Let's get this wire out of my face, shall we? I don't know what the advantage of this lid is. I don't know if that lid does anything. I've always had a lid, but I never know if it actually has a purpose in life. I feel like my light is it not bright? I feel like it's not very bright. Still have kind of the same issue I always had before. Even though I spread out the wing, it's still kind of hard to get to. It's like I need a thing that's like how am I supposed to get in? How do you get into these things? I know I'm supposed to be wearing. I probably should be wearing a mask. I may have to use a brush to get in here. The dreaded brush. No, not the brush. So, one of my sons was getting into miniatures painting too, but I don't know. I think he kind of lost interest. Of course, you know, taking a break doesn't necessarily mean you lose interest. It just means you just aren't making time for it anymore. I know that's my case. Like I said, I really like miniatures painting. Just don't always make time for it. I'm either out of paint or... Oh, it's coming out. What the heck? Hmm. Well, at least he's partially colored, but I am going to have to switch over to actual paintbrush because because there's just no way I can get this thing to shoot where I need it to without spraying all over the other parts of the model that I don't necessarily want to get covered in paint. So let's see what's my situation paint wise. Oh my gosh, it got really low. That really went down. Alright, so alright, let's get a drink here. I gotta check my pad. I haven't checked it. I haven't painted in a long time, so it's probably needing a serious rinse out, so give me a minute. So my cake of choice, we're having lasagna tonight. My cake of choice was dark chocolate cake with chocolate frosting and a strawberry center. You know, strawberry middle tier frosting thing. I like sweet and chocolate. Tastes good together. Strawberry and raspberry are both really good. And if it ain't dark chocolate, why bother? That's my feeling on the old chocolate scenarios. Oh geez, that dried up. It didn't mold. It just stopped being a thing. It just, man, oh gosh, that is frozen. That is seriously dried up. Yeah, that is a curdly dry. There's no liquid. It's obviously not an airtight device. Hold on. I gotta re-wet my sponge. Give me a moment. Put a new fresh thing on there. I'm not totally sure I can reuse that pad, to be honest. It's in pretty bad shape, but I don't know that I have another one. I might need to get a new pad. Okay, I'm back again. That is a problem with the old trying to get started again. I used to, okay, so this red grass paint palette got really good reviews by a couple of people. For some reason, really liked it. I like the size, but I honestly, I hated the pad that came in. For one, it dried up really weird, and it also just, I don't know, it just didn't hold the water right. I mean, it was kind of funky. And I kept thinking I was having trouble with my paints and they were giving me problems. And I was thinking, I'm doing something wrong with my paints. People really like this thing. But it just wasn't working out. So I said, all right, let's try a different pad in there. Just because I had tried different things. I tried different papers and paper strategies. Nothing was working. And I go, let's try a different approach. So I just got it. I got some of the Stay Wet palettes or something like that. Whatever the pretty well known palette people, wet palette people, but they make the accessories. I don't even know if they have an actual palette. But I bought some of their stuff, and bam, all my problems went away. So I was like, okay, so the problem is not me. So there you go. If you want to know what I think of the red grass palette, the size is great. The pad is terrible. I just didn't like. I don't like their pad. I don't. So to each his own, man. And I really like Squidmar. I think his name is Squidmar. He goes by. He does a lot of cool projects, big project paint things. It's like dioramas. That's his thing, and they do miniatures too, and they do contests, and they're good painters. His buddy's really good. His buddy's fantastic. Better than he is, I think. He's good too. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're both like in a class beyond me. That I don't know. You know how they say anybody can do anything with enough practice. I don't believe that's necessarily true. I mean, yes, anybody can do anything, except maybe MVP quarterback, or you can't be the best unless you are already. I'm sorry for all you people out there who believe it's possible to go from nothing to something. But you have to have an inclination already. You have to already have some skill in that area. Something about you has made it possible to be that good. Or you're never gonna be the best. Or you're never gonna be super. And athletes, I'm sorry, there's a lot of, you work really, really hard and you can probably play in college. You work really, really hard, and unless you have that natural inclination, you're probably never going to be a pro. It's just so far, it's just it's a talent pool that is very tiny, and you have to be excelled. And the reason I say that is because I understand it. I see it. I know it. I know me. I've learned where I excel. And I could be the best at some things because I have a natural inclination in those areas. Now, would I ever be the best in those areas? Probably not, because I have too many interests and I don't focus well enough. I'm not the guy who needs focus, who wants any one thing bad enough to try to be the best. And I say the best, I mean competitive at a high level. Um, art is not one of them. Art is not a natural inclination of mine. It is not a thing that, I mean, I like it. I like painting. I can definitely appreciate it. I could probably judge art because I'm very detail oriented in the sense that I can look at the minutia and determine whether or not, you know, did this person do X or Y that makes this thing better than other things. But I can't conceive art. No, that's wrong. I can't connect the visuals in my head with function. It's just not a skill of mine. I can visualize it's almost like I can visualize a concept of nice looking art. But I don't know how. Maybe my brain just doesn't assemble the details like that. Art requires a level of understanding of what it is, and being able to see those details in your mind so you can bring them to life. You know, like the shadows and the angles, and I can see things, but I'm very literal in how I draw, and art is not a literal art. It's a thing you have to conceive. You have to be able to see the big picture and understand the variance and the flows. And yeah, practice could make me better, but I'll never be great. And it's just the way it is. I accept it. It's just the way it is. I know there are things I am good at. But those are not one of them. That is not one of them. Now, my skills could be like, I think I could be a top flight tennis, pickleball. I've competed in these areas and actually done pretty well. And if I was able to commit myself to it, I could probably be high level. And I'm not just talking about my age, high level. Like, I don't know that I'd be national champion or anything like that, but I mean, like, I could compete against top tier players if I dedicated to it, because I know that's an area I excel at. Game design. Honestly, if I had known, if I could have figured out how to get into that industry a long time ago, I could be one of the better game designers, board game designers, maybe even video games, if I had learned how to program the right stuff. Because I know how to design games. I'm not talking about graphical again. I'm talking about structural, engine, playability, the kind of things that keep players around, that want, because things that look good are great, but you know, unless they function well, you know, you're going to lose people. There's plenty of good games out there, or plenty of video games out there that look fantastic, but they are not all great games, right? You know, I mean, it's like you can start playing them and you're going, oh, this is a beautiful game, and then after a while you're like, this is a boring game. I mean, yeah, it looks good, but I'm not enjoying myself anymore. You know what I've noticed about my black base? It's really not that black. Need some black. It's lava. Some people just go all out with the black. I don't like all out black. I feel like there should be more color, but lava, I'm thinking like lava flows. You got the dry parts of black. I feel like my thing needs more black, but that's my desolate brown. Oh yeah, I should probably do this thing. Jeez, is that did not want to come out. Boo! And then it all comes out at once. It's like a spider web. Just don't go to the edges. Wow, that did not. I have too much water on my palette, I think. Just soaked it all up. Just pulled all the paint off because it was literally just a puddle. It just spread out like a nothing. It was no substance, spread out into a spider web of paint. So yeah, that didn't work out well at all. And I don't know how I'm gonna. I want to fiddle with this. I got to clean this off. You can't just leave it. Pulling the whole thing off? It is. Oh wait. Does that just adjust? Oh, it doesn't even adjust. It just slides on and off. Oh, weird. Man, I have not figured out this gun at all, man. This gun is weird. All right. I need my You're looking at me and go, man, dude, you are a slow painter. Then you wonder why I never get any painting done. Or then I wonder why I never get any painting done. Well, I will tell you, it's because I am slow. I do make progress. I do get things done. It's just not a fast process. Problem is with using air gun, there's a lot of work in cleaning it up. That's another thing. There's no. Ow! Wow! Don't do that. Don't let the needle up when you're doing. Wow. Ken, you're such an idiot. Needle's sharp on these things, by the way. don't pull it back and then let go. It's like inject paint into your skin. Jeez. Yikes. Well, with my other paintbrush, when you blocked it, you were blocking the nozzle, but you have to take the nozzle off of this thing because it's got, this one's got a weird flow, man. So hopefully it's clean now. Nope, still coming out. Still coming out with a little bit of dirty. Does this have? There are a number of painters online who are not only good, but they're organized. So if you want to find some good organized painters, let me recommend. Let's see. Well, okay, I've never seen Squidmar paint live. I don't know if he paints live. He may only paint. He may only do YouTube videos. I don't know. But I do know Miniac. Miniac paints live. He has a lot of YouTube videos. He's a really good painter too. He's one of those guys that and Ninjon. So hey, check those guys out. They're pretty good. They do stuff. It's like they can teach. They can go on and they're good enough where they're showing you how to do things the right way, not my way. I'm probably doing stuff wrong. I kind of listen and watch them, but I try to learn. And some things, you know, but some things I learn. Apparently I'm not always the most quick of study. I guess. I don't know. I just, like I said, art is one of those things that I have a hard time. See, as long as it still comes out dirty, I can't, and I can't, I need a nozzle I can pull back. What are these things? Oh, are they cleaners? Oh, they're needles. Oh, wow, I could change the needle size. Sweet. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that must be what these are. They're different heads for different needle tipness. Yeah, 0.2 millimeter head. Gosh, I wonder if these will fit on my other gun. Speaking of my other gun, parts aren't known for compatibility on paint guns, by the way. See, I have a nice little nozzle here, and what part did I lose? I can't remember. Oh, it's the part that's supposed to go over the nozzle, over the needle. It's kind of an important part. And these tips are so completely and totally different. There is no sharing parts on these. At least not on this part. The only option I have for doing this, I gotta try to figure out how to clean this. I can't plug it, so I can't push the soap back, which is usually what I'll do. I'll bubble the soap in a little bit. The only other option is just to put a bunch of water and just keep running it through until it comes out clean. But it's like, guess what I could do. That's kind of a pain, honestly. The old just run it through until it's clean bit. At least it drains fast. It's actually really good about that. I think I like this gun, honestly. I think it's going to be a good gun. But I don't know how long it's going to take to get it clean. Alright, I think maybe it's clean. Yeah, it's coming out clean now, looks like. Guess you run enough water through there, it'll eventually come out the way you want it. Either that or just dried. Either that or just dried and eventually it won't work at all. Which is a thing, trust me. Ow! Stop putting your finger on the needle, Ken! That's why you need this thing. Which is weird, but... Alright, well, there, it's clean. Clean enough. Alright. Alright. Let's try this again, shall we? Let's see. Desolate brown. Let's take the desolate brown and put it on the top of his wings. Nope. Those are the rip my nose version. And this is the hopefully not rip my nose version. Now this is not the ideal brush for most painting efforts, by the way, but it's good for wide areas like this, and I am applying it as a wash, so I'm trying to spread it out thin over a big area. Hey, and if you see my big head get in the way, text me and go, hey, dude, I can't see through your bald head. I have a camera I'm hoping to get one of these days. I asked somebody what they were using because it was working really good on their stream. I mean, they were able to see the stuff they were doing, and it was nice focused picture while they were moving around. It was really good. And it's a document camera, of all things. And I was like, really? They set it up kind of in front of them. And yeah, it's a document camera. So I was like, that's kind of cool. And I looked it up. Gets awesome reviews on Amazon. So now I want a document camera. So I put it on my Amazon wish list / one of these days I'm going to buy list. Because I like to do other things too, like item reviews, and I've done all kinds of weird things. You'll probably, if you on my YouTube, I've done reviews of all kinds of things. If you're interested and curious what those things might be, check those out. I've done not all kinds of things, not like everything. It's usually gamey or toy-y fun stuff, so that kind of thing. When I say all kinds of things, I mean like I collect Superman stuff. Not all Superman stuff, like little Superman stuff, my rule for collectibles is the item has to fit in the X-Case or the Mage Cage, which means it can't be bigger than 3.5. So I collect like some Hot Wheels, but I like to collect themed Hot Wheels, not just any. Like I have some, of course, I have some Star Wars ones, and I have Broncos, which aren't necessarily always Hot Wheels, but they're die-cast vehicles. And then I also collect Superman cars, which are oftentimes Hot Wheels, because Hot Wheels does a lot of what do you call it? IP based things like that. And I have some pretty cool collections of that stuff. So anyway, when I get new ones, I like to show them off. So I do like little demos of them, how they're set up in the Mage Cage, that kind of thing, or X-Case. The X-Case and the Mage Cage, I when you hear me using them, sometimes I'll say both. It's because they're compatible cases, but one has ribs on the inside, which is actually better for different types of things. That acts like a shelf. And then the other one is the X-Case, which has no shelf on the inside. Unfortunately, I don't talk too much about the X-Case lately because I'm sold out of a lot of them. So people ask, where's the clear ones? I'm like, I don't have any more clear ones. In fact, I barely have any of the opaque ones left, and I want to get more. Production is expensive, and I need to do a Kickstarter, but I need to make bigger. I have plans to make a bigger case and more cases, enough that I can actually produce more when I sell out or sell through. But I don't know. I mean, it's not, unfortunately, it's one of those things that on its own is not enough to produce enough income, right? So I can't focus on it too much. It's enough it would be a good product if it was a member of a bunch of other products. Like if I had other things that went along with it, which I do, and having the different sizes and stuff will help. Different sizes and different inserts that I'm planning to do. It's actually only one different size, but I have a lot of plans for inserts and that kind of thing. And once all those are there, that'll help. But ultimately, it's not enough to sustain as a business on its own. I need to be a full-on game company, like I would love to be. I got to get some of my games going, and I have one game already designed, ready to go. It needs art, so I could either start doing DALL-E and create the art for it. But that takes a long time, because when you're doing AI art, man, I tell you, AI is stupid. What I could do is I would like to build up the game fully with AI art, and then I can put it on Kickstarter, like it's ready to go. But as stretch goals, I would replace the art with people art, not AI. Hit the amount it takes to produce it, and then as I make extra, I'll say, okay, well, now let's replace this art with X or Y. We'll get every piece for every X extra, I'll get new art from actual artists. Because I don't want to use AI art if I don't have to. For one, I think AI art sucks. I mean, sometimes it's really nice. Don't get me wrong. I mean, AI art can be good. But it's a lot of work to get what you want. Make it look clean. You got to do lots of versions to make sure. Because when you're doing AI art generation, anybody who tells you AI art is the easy way, oh boy. I'm telling you, it could take almost as long, I think, to generate a good piece, quality art in AI, or maybe not as long, but it can take a long time, trust me, to get multiple pieces of art that you need. And I'm just not, but I have to. There's just too much. It's too much expense. I mean, and I get it. People have to make a living. I'm not telling you guys. I'm not complaining that artists are expensive and thinking that they should lower their rates. I don't think you should lower your rates. I think you should make a living. But I can't pay you because I can't make a living paying you. If you can get like a company who's got the money to pay you, like if I get my stretch goals and I can get my game out, I will go out and hire some quality artists. What I'll probably do is get some AI art that's really close to what I want. And then if I hit my stretch goals, tell them, give me something that looks kind of like this, but good. Go ahead. I mean, I am a kind of person who I can give someone a concept and just say, do it. And I'm not going to say, give me exactly what I want. I think artists, I have been surprised, and I am the first to admit that what I conceive isn't even as good as what some of these guys can do. I have seen stuff come up and I'm like, freak, I would never have even considered that quality to be a possibility had I not seen it, had not seen someone do it. That's just my level of art skill. Good artist. I mean, I would want to pay a good artist. If I were to do it, like if I was to do it by stretch goals, it would be like, I want to get art from guys that just I consider top. I'm tired of dealing with the cheap artists. Because my experience has been that they're typically flaky. I want to say flaky because I don't know if lazy is the word, but I have just tried to get some of these artists that are willing to do stuff for like a couple $100 to do stuff for me, and they start off good, and then they disappear. They just stop responding to you, and I'm like, frick, man. How do you expect to be of any use to anybody if you can't finish the job? I don't know how old they are. Maybe they're just young. Maybe I need to find guys that have been doing art for a while. I appreciate that there's people who will do stuff cheaper. What I'm thinking is I'd like to do is do art packs. Like get an artist and say, okay, I want you to do, 5 images for me, and I'll pay you X. And do that. Just because I think art packs would be cool, because I want to do, well, all right, you guys, you don't even know what I'm talking about. I have a game, it's called the Puzzle Exchange, and it's a bunch of puzzles. You race people. It's a race of puzzles. They're easy, they're easy puzzles, but it takes, you're racing other people, and a typical game might take only a couple minutes. It's the first one to win twice. It's pretty easy. It's a little party game. But you're racing other people by way of, you can't see, and nobody can see each other's puzzles. In fact, you can only see your puzzle 2 pieces at a time. So you got a 9-piece puzzle facing down, and you're trying to solve your puzzle from the pieces that are available on the board. But everybody's got everybody's pieces. So you're trying to get those pieces. It's kind of like what was the game? It's called they used to have wheat and other things. It was called Pit. Maybe it was called Pit. and you would be shouting, I need this, I need that, I need this. Kind of like that in a way. Except more fun, because you're not only collecting stuff, you're actually trying to assemble a puzzle. And it's a fun racing game. But now with AI, I might try to get that built. I'm gonna try. I mean, again, it's not enough to... For one, it wouldn't be out for a long time. I need to get a new quote. Probably should. Get some art. I want to get all the art. It's all going to be AI. I'm gonna start doing that. Because the game's ready to go, dang it. And everybody who's ever played it, who's okay with party games or likes puzzles, has enjoyed the game. Getting people to try it, though. It's because I know people who don't really care for that kind of game. My game people groupers, they're a little bit more meaty. They like the meaty stuff. And I don't blame them. I like meaty stuff too. It's not a game I play all the time either, but it is kind of fun in a party setting. Thing is, it's the kind of game where if you can get a big enough table, you can literally play it on... You can play 10 people. It can be pretty hectic, that's for sure. I would probably recommend not playing more than 10 people with the game, only because I think people get too far apart on a big table, and you'd be throwing pieces all the way across the room to get it to them. But hey, if you got a big enough table, you want to try it, you can play as many puzzles as you want. And the game will still go fast because everybody moves simultaneously. It'll take a little longer with more people because pieces will be flying around. There'll be more puzzles on the board. Well, I am getting closer. Thing is, I'm only painting the side that I can see right now because it's going to be hard to paint the other side. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get the other side of these arms. And then I block one eye, and then my depth perception all goes out the window. Like I can't see through the guy, and I go blind when my brush passes in front of the one other eye. So only one eye can see, and then I cover it. I can't see nothing. So I was thinking, you know, you see all these ads for, you want to be a voice actor. And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind being... Well, okay, I see a lot of them because I wouldn't mind being a voice actor. Well, I wouldn't mind being any kind of an actor. I've been doing, as you know, I've been in a couple of plays lately. Well, okay, maybe you know. I don't know. I always say that because I talk about it all the time. So if you're a regular follower of mine or if you've seen my videos enough times, you've probably heard me mention that I've been in a couple of plays. I'm in my second play. Okay, so maybe I'm exaggerating. But I'm in my second one. 2 out of 2 though. I tried out for both, got them both. In fact, I even got the parts. Both parts I tried out for, I got specifically, and one of them is a lead, sort of a lead. I mean, he's the intro main character. He's the guy that Vincent Price played in the movie that the play I'm doing is based on. And of course, Vincent Price was in it. It was a major part because it was Vincent Price. I don't know that Vincent Price, I guess he did kind of play a secondary character in Edward Scissorhands, but maybe he did on a few occasions. I don't know, but he was the kind of guy that always, I just wanted to be his part, so I came up. Now, granted, I am not playing the role like Vincent Price did because he's Vincent Price and I'm not. I have, but I am playing it with the Vincent Priciness. Try to give myself an air of mystery / creepy. At least that's how I did the monologue. I'm all out of pain again. These big guys, man, they take a lot of freaking paint. So, yes. So this guy should fit inside of the big cases. Yeah, he'll fit. Oh, he'll definitely fit inside of one of the big X cases when I get them made. He's gargantuan in size compared to the other cases, the current cases, but seems like I don't know. I feel like I've never painted the handle on this thing. I mean, it is colored, but it doesn't look colored correctly. It doesn't look right. It looks like maybe it just got some overflow of other paint when I was painting. Plus, it is kind of weird. I mean, that he have a wooden handle on a lava scythe. Seems kind of impractical, doesn't it? Wooden handle on a lava scythe. Seems like it would incinerate itself. So I got to do something to. But it's wooden. You can very clearly see the grain on it. So maybe just the tip. Somehow it's got iron that's infused into the wood. This is what they call it. What is it? There is actually called a. There is actually a wood out there that it's called like iron or steel wood or something, and it comes from a tree that is supposed to make that. Basically, they call it that because it's super dense. Like it's like it'd be hard to cut through it even with a power saw kind of thing. It's like super dense. It's like one of the hardest woods. Alexa, what's the world's hardest wood?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. The hardest wood in the world is lignin vitae, a hardwood from the southwestern Caribbean, Mexico, and the Amazon region. It is also known as the wood that doesn't float, as it is so hard that it doesn't float.
It's also known as the wood that doesn't float because it's so hard it doesn't float. It's like, oh, well, gee, wonder why they call it that then. That was... that doesn't make sense, though. Because it's so hard it wouldn't float. That's not a thing. I mean, you can have steel ships, which are stupid hard, right? And they do float. So it's not hardness, it's density probably is the reason why it doesn't float, not because it's so hard. So it's not because it's so hard it doesn't float. It's because it's probably dense, so dense it doesn't float. And I didn't even hear what she said. She said something, and I was like, "What? What is that?" It was so not what I expected to hear. My brain didn't even bother to register it. Something about that doesn't look right. I don't know. I don't like the contrast. I need to do something hyper contrasty. And it is wood, so how do you hyper contrast? How do you hyper contrast something that's the color it's supposed to be? Alright, so did I get all of these? And did I do all their colors? It's too easy to not be. Gotta say though, it feels good to be painting again. Sometimes I just, I like playing video games, but it's not satisfying a lot of times. I mean, there's a lot of things I like about it. I like the solving the puzzle. I think that's what I like about games. That's why I like tactical. I like games like that because it makes my mind work. And I don't think I pick games that are tactical enough sometimes. Or plus, I think it's not just solving it or it's the creativity of painting. It's the creativity, not creativity, the creativity. That's what I'm saying. It's the making something to show for it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I like that. I mean, I like being creative. But I actually like having something, I don't know, having something to show for whatever I've been doing. It makes it just makes me feel more accomplished, more like I did something worth doing. Video games are fun, but they just don't have I feel a little empty after playing them sometimes. That's why I try to limit my video games because I always feel like, what did I do today? I played video games. I don't have anything. There's no evidence of it. And you uninstall a video game and bam, everything you've done, the life of work you've put into that game is gone. They stop supporting a video game online. That's an online game. And it's gone. So unless you're getting something out of it, some sense of accomplishment, that's why I'm trying to design a game that allows you to truly, it's like, I don't know, just like you have something you can enjoy and accomplish. Get a team going that's, I mean, I guess all games are in a sense kind of like that, but for me, creating the game is more the accomplishment than playing it, right? And then there's plenty of people who want to play a game. Not everybody's like me. There's some people who just like to sit down and just drain their, and just relax. Drain their time into something that just allows them not to worry about creativity. Maybe that's their job all day. All they do is be creative, and it's like, I just want to sit down and play a game, man. And I get it. And there's sometimes people that's just their outlet. And my outlet, and I like it too. It's an outlet for me sometimes too. It's just nice to let the brain take a time. Man, I do not know how to get this back edge. I cannot. I'm even using a weird brush, and I can't, even with my weird brush, I can't figure out how to. I don't know how to get back there, man. It's just such a weird... The angle of this thing is... So, I should probably mention again. I don't know why. I just like to mention the things that I have plans, my goals in life. So, as I'm working on this game, I've mentioned a few times that I'd like to get my game business going. Who wouldn't, right? But it's not just about the creating the game. I want to be able to hire people. Here's a funny statement. Hire people that need jobs. No, I'm talking about like not permanent hires. And not that I have any problem. I'll probably have a couple of permanent employees, but my idea is, how people, the job market can be rough, right? There's sometimes where you just can't get a job. There's just like nobody out there. You go through unemployment, and then your unemployment runs out, and you're still without a job. And now, granted, my company would, it can only do so much, but the idea is that I hire people that, fit the company's one of the many types of positions we have, because, you need marketing, you need finance, you need, obviously, developers in a game company, either video games, which I would do both, video games and board games, and allow people, then you have graphic designers, and you have game editors, and you have, there's so many different positions involved. I mean, it's an entire company, industry thing. Golly, this guy is driving me bonkers, man. I cannot find a way to get in here. Plus, getting my light where it's supposed to be. It's like once I finally think I have an angle, the light disappears because my headlamp can't get in there. Sheesh. And, the idea is to hire people and train them in the area that they're hired in. So in other words, I would purposely hire people that just want to be in that industry, but can't get jobs. And we would help them build up experience, have people that are full-time that are not only good at their job for the sake of the company, but they would be willing and that they're okay with mentoring, training people in those areas, so that anybody who's working for them in those areas, and yeah, it would suck because we'd be letting people go on purpose. It wouldn't be about laying them off, though. It'd be about finding them new positions. We tell them, look, this job is a 2-year max job, 2-year max, and our idea is that we teach you, we give you the training. Hopefully we can get you certified if possible, if it's a certifiable thing. Make you certifiable. We'll even pay for your certification test attempt while you're working for us. And then we help you find a job. We look around. We have people whose specific job is to get you a job. And then eventually we say goodbye. Say thank you for all your help and being the great employee. We'll give you references and send you on your way. But unfortunately, it's a 2-year max job. So this way, people don't expect that there's no turning down every job that's offered to you and then saying, yeah, I'm just going to stick around. It's like, no, unfortunately, you've hit your 2-year max. But in that time, we're going to do everything we can. And the thing is, nobody would want to stick around because we'd be paying them less. It's like it's kind of like being paid to go to school. You're coming in, you're gaining training, you're kind of like apprenticeshipping. But anybody can apprenticeship. It's not like, if you're just out of college or you just have this or you just have that. You can actually come in, make what amounts to probably a little bit more, and you can't be eligible. You have to have some work experience already, so it wouldn't be straight out of college people. We wouldn't hire those people. Have to go out and go through the process like everybody else. This is for people, we'd hire people specifically outside, who have been unemployed for X amount of time, and outside of unemployment. So they're no longer able to earn unemployment. So working for us is, and there's plenty of people like this, I guarantee it. And there's lots and lots of people who've just been like, I can't get a job. And we'd be like, well, here, let's, what would you like to do? We're the company that would help you find something you want to do and get into that industry. As far as what we offer, I mean, it'd have to be within the areas that we offer, of course. Honestly, you know, I'm ready to go on to some other type of job. I mean, I like game programming, so that to me is a different type of job, because I'd be managing, developing the game, designing games, and helping to run the company that's trying to get people work. So it's not like the same thing I've been doing. I'm tired of just being a developer, to be honest. But I have to do what I can for my family, right? Now, obviously, this company doesn't exist. I don't have the financial backing. It's going to take a lot of money. Company might not even make money. But it's still my dream. It's what I always say I would do if I won the lotto. I'd start a business that did just that. Hopefully, it'd be a big lotto, and it would just be allow me something I can. Basically, it'd be a charitable thing, and then I would have a department whose job is to try to raise money, because it would be a nonprofit. I mean, people can still make money. You know, individuals can make money in a nonprofit. And that's what they're doing, right? They're working for, a salary. You still can get paid salaries, and good salaries if you want to. But so like my primary people would always be, what do you call it? Probably paid pretty well, because they got to teach and work. They got to teach other people and do the job that helps keep the company afloat. But I would never be a slave driver. It's not me. I'd be the kind of person who says, hey man, go take a vacation. We got 2 people who can do that job. That's why we hire 2 people who can do the job. So we always have one person who's able to do it, while someone else has to live. Nobody's expendable as far as the primaries go, but everybody's, what did I say, replaceable? No. No, I don't want to say replaceable. Replaceable. I guess that is the right word. But it's not meant to be a bad thing. It just means that you don't have to feel like you have to work all the time. Alrighty, I think we're actually kind of close to what I want here. What I've been aiming for. I feel like there's always, I turn around, there's always something I didn't get that spot. How did I manage to miss that spot? There's so many angles, so you have to hit it from so many different ways. Anybody looking at me going, what are you painting with? That is not a proper paintbrush. For what I'm doing, I think it's doing the job. I do have a proper paintbrush, by the way. I usually use, but this one I just felt like for what I'm trying to accomplish, it's doing the trick. It's kind of a slop it on type thing I'm doing here. Just occurred to me that he's got I think a part of his arm back here that's not even covered up. Now, I will say this, though. If you're using speed paints, using them on white or light-colored, white or gray primer is going to be way better. Trust me. Don't use them on dark primers. They don't. They just don't pop the way that you want them to when you put them on a dark primer. The dark primer just hides a lot of the darks and dulls all of the highlights, whereas a light color just tends to be tends to do a better job of color. Man, I don't even. This guy's bone is missing color. All of his arm spikes. Sheesh. Just how bad is it? Oh, the whole back of his arm. I think I'm also missing the red that's supposed to be going on here. Kind of like when you're trying to get the brush in a spot, you tip your head to go there, but it's not really the head, it's the hand that needs to. You gotta learn to keep your head right where it needs to stay. I say you. I need to learn to do that. I keep moving my head, and it's not my head that's the problem here. It's my hand that needs to go where it needs to go. If I can see the spot already, moving my head's not gonna. Tell you, some of these areas are just freaking hard to paint. And how did I get yellow on his wing? I don't even know. Is there? Oh, from when I was painting the lava. Wow. Shame, Ken. Shame of you. And here I'm just trying to make sure I get all the bottom parts fully covered, while also producing a little bit of a, blend of the brown going into the rest of the figure. You might say, is that working? Like, I don't know. I just don't want it to have a line. That's my goal. I don't like lines are never good, right? You want it to look like it's scattered. You don't want any kind of straight lines. If your painting has straight lines in it, it just looks weird because it's not natural. I mean, there are some creatures in the world that have straight lines on them. Zebras, I guess, have some straight lines. Stripes have straight lines, but at least his wings are starting to look kind of finished. It's 4 o'clock, man. Well, I am going through a lot of paint. That's the thing about working with big figs, man. Go through a lot of paint. And working with a wet palette, it spreads out like the plague. It's probably not great that I'm handling this thing with my bare hands either. But how do you not handle it with your bare hands? That's what I want to know. I'm always, again, that's another thing I'm impressed with. Some of these people can just, I don't know. They do things that don't look like it should work, but they do it. Some just amazing, amazing, amazing painters out there. Shazam. That's my my text sound. My text sound of a text from somebody. Not just, I have a notification sound that's totally not. But if you hear like dee, that's just a notification. If you hear Shazam, that's somebody's texting me. But it's not always useful text. Sometimes it's just like, you know, Domino's or something. Hey, we got a deal for you. But, and if it's a company I don't mind getting texts from, like Domino's, because sometimes I want a deal. I let it. I do have custom sounds for like the key members, you know, like my family and stuff. Like my kids all have a unique sound, so when I know when they're texting me, I know it. Now the only problem is sometimes my phone gets screwed up, and I have to reset it, and then I don't have the custom sounds. So hard to get this fully covered up, man. Getting under here. I'll have to go over some of this with Desolate Red to bring back the red. But it is similar color, not Desolate Red, Slaughter Red, which is the color I'm using to give it the red hue. But I'm using this to underneath here to give me my, I don't know, darker color, because I'm using a mid brown on the top. But I'm using this Desolate Brown on the bottom, because it's darker underneath, right? Just trying to spread it out enough, though. Now that I've gotten all of the seams darked browned, or covered, I guess is more the term I'm looking for. Just need to make sure there's paint everywhere. That's the big thing right now, because the airbrush just couldn't get back here, man. I just could not point it in the right direction. It's too crowded, and that's even after my wing. It took me a long time to get the wing fixed, so it stayed open. It kept folding up. I couldn't even get a brush back here. Now I at least can get a brush back here. Alright, I think my wing is now covered. I hope. Let's try to get the inside bottom here, because that is a thing here. This one is actually a smaller wing. At least it seems like it. Like he's got a mini wing. Yeah, I guess if you really look at those wings are not the same size. That guy's got one big wing and one little wing. You don't even notice that stuff, you know. The sculptors, they're funny. It's like you look at it and go, wait a minute, if this guy tried to fly, he'd have some serious wind problems. It would not be landing where you'd want it to. You'd be like, why am I like flipping over all the time? I'm always like spinning in the air. Because one wing is cranking out pushing the air, and the other one is just kind of like, I can't keep up. All right, what do we got? How close are we here? I'm trying to see what areas I missed. Definitely got to get the bones on there fixed up a little bit more. Keep adding more layers of the brown to the browner areas so that they can, well, separate. But I also probably add some more red here in a minute. All right, so I think, hopefully, oh, did I not do the outside of this one? Oh no, it's just the way it's so bright. Thought at first I missed it, but I think we're good. You know what? I don't think I did do this side. It doesn't have that ripped. I am twisting my wrist too far for that side. I think I did do this. Yeah, I can kind of see the brown now. The angle of light changed. We're good. Just got to make sure I get enough of the brown in places. Just want to make sure that I don't have any more of the of uncovered areas that should be brown. Got a number of areas that are just like all over them that have brownness that aren't covered. This guy's now, with a really tiny guy, I would never be using this brush. There'd be like no freaking way ever. But this guy's just so big, it just allows me to carry more paint around. And seems to be working okay. It has some weird frayed pieces, though. It's an old brush. Like I said, it's definitely a no-no for more intricate type things, but and I still have to get out my other smaller brushes just to clean up and get everything covered that's supposed to be. But I gotta just trying to get everything covered up at least enough. Because he was pretty much all airbrushed, and when you get down to the nitty-gritties, eventually you have to pull out the old regular brush and start getting paint on things. Definitely have to start getting some red on here. I did a reverse shading guy once where I did all the black on top and the light on bottom. So basically he was black and red, but I put all the black shadowing on top. He looked interesting. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just had a weird feel to it. It was almost like, I don't know. Because it was like when you looked at him from like a lower angle, he was red. And when you looked at him from an upper angle, he was kind of black. And it was definitely an interesting outcome. Would I do it again? Yeah, I'd try with other colors. Put the light color on the bottom, shade the uppers. It's interesting to try. It's just one of those things you look at and you're like, you're not sure what's wrong with this. Because it does look wrong. I gotta admit. I don't know how to. It's probably because it is wrong. You got the colors wrong. But it is kind of cool. It just stands out as kind of a. You're like, something's off, but it still looks kind of neat. Now, it'd be interesting to do that and like use opposite colors, dark on the bottom, or a dark on top, light on the bottom, but still shade the bottom. So you would just like call out the dark spots, like you'd have the extra dark of it. So it looks like he is truly dark on top, light on bottom. That's his colors, but he has still, light still hits him normally. That's just his weird look. The important thing is he's fully covered, and then he's starting to look pretty solid, almost to the point where I can say, I won't say he's done, but I'm saying he's painted. He's got some these little bone things over here that I need to fix, and got to put some more highlights and stuff to make him actually closer to done, but he's closer. But I think there is a wood called steel wood or iron wood or something like that that's really So how long have I been going? Am I having? Oh, I didn't set my timer on my guy, on my clock. You can set timer on here so you can kind of get a feel for how long. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go on and I'll just hit start. And then I can stop it. And then I just look at my stream and take 10 minutes off of it for stupidity. And, well, maybe more than that. I'll probably take 20 minutes off. But then I'll just adjust the time for the time I logged on here. But he's definitely looking better. But my lights are dying. I think my headlamp isn't doing too good either. So what would I say? I think I'm done. I'm gonna take a break, guys. 2 hours, a good paint session. I will be back. It's just, I really do like painting. It's just cathartic. It's fun to do. I have lots of characters here that I got to paint. I just got to do it more often. I got to figure out ways to build it into my day. But with my game, I have to get this game done. I need to start doing the kind of things I need to promote it and make it, start bringing in some money. I know, it's all about money. The world's all about money, guys. I don't like asking for money, so I like to... My feeling is I want to be able to give something to you for money. I want to sell something to you. So you got to find something of value that I can give you. So I'm thought about like doing merchandise, but do you want to be I mean, merchandise is cool. If it's cool merchandise, cool T-shirts, cool whatever. But I have Mage Cage, and if you want to know more about it, check out YouTube and Instagram under Active Minds Games, and you'll see a bunch of videos and pictures of what it is. It holds not only miniatures, but it holds, well, the X-Case holds paints and other small stuff. Like I have a whole paint wall here full of, here, let me show it to you. Let's see. And this is going to fall, so forgive me when it falls. Okay, so something. Hold on. There we go. All right, so this is my display cases. See, these are the X-Case, by the way. And if I can do this without making everybody sick. That's the thing. That's the thing. Can I do this without making everybody sick? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases on top of each other. And then they're connected in the middle. You can see this. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And then you have the rest. So that's the rest of my paints. But I also have these over here, which is like my, I don't know, the technical stuff, the decorations, the paints, the powders, the pigments, that kind of thing. And then over here, you see I have these units with minis in them. Those are the clear X cases. Now those are those ones I don't have anymore. Sorry. I'm all out of clear X cases. But that's what I want to have. That's my Kickstarter plans. But I need to have. That's going to be an expensive Kickstarter, so I have to make sure I have good foundation for that. I may even run like a, I don't know. They have the pre-launch campaigns, but it's really hard to build up a pre-launch. I don't know. I gotta spend more time with like Indiegogo. How long can you run a pre-launch campaign for? I probably do like a 6-month pre-launch campaign. But, and do I have to have a fixed time? I don't know. I want to have a pre-launch campaign where I have 1,000 people. 1,000 people that want to be in on the launch. Because I would need that many people to, I think, have a fighting chance at the campaign being a success. Guess there's not really a good angle for this guy to. He's got big wings. He's really kind of difficult to get a good picture of. That's not a great pick, huh? It's hard to get good picks. Flash is fine, but it's not always, I don't know. It's like, sometimes you wish you could do like a flash that was like half flash. Not so much flash. In the background here, probably not the best, but you know, I'm just putting this on for the for my progress photo, because you can do I like to add progress photos when I can. Just shows me how much I've done on these. So his scythe busted once, and I decided I needed to come up with a better solution for that. Okay, so I can go here now. Now you can take a picture in the app, but it takes a really low quality crap picture. So I would say don't do that. If you really want a good picture as something if you really want a good, it doesn't look that different, huh? From the other ones. What did I do? Yeah, you can see that there's the white on his wings. I didn't take many pictures. I keep taking forward pictures of him, and the wing that was really flawed, you can see is all white back here, but I need to do more highlights. And here's one of the things I've struggled with. And I've been Ninjon and a couple others, they always say, go heavy contrast. Just go for it, man. Pick something that is just like out of the blue, heavy contrast, and it will look better. And they do it, and it's like, it looks better. But I always look at it and go, man, but that color doesn't even go. It's like, just do it, man. If it's a contrast color, go for it, man. An update is available. What? Let's go ahead and update that. Hopefully it doesn't break anything. And this guy's pretty responsive too. I actually told him, hey, something. It does let you. Whoa, moly! What does he do? Library update. Added workload estimates to charts based on previous week sessions. Easier image viewing of bits and locators. Easier image viewing of bits and locators. To-dos can be filtered to hide completed entries. Fixed a problem linking collections. Fixed an issue with project relocation of root projects. User request. Filtering the inventory by amounts. Library update. Collection categories. He is trying to make it into a better paint tracker. I still find it kind of weak in its paint tracking. I have another one called Paint Rack that does a better job of that. At least that's been my experience so far. I would like to get it down to just using one if I could, because Paint Rack is not for tracking your progress. So if you really want to have, what is today? Saturday? So I'm going to change that. I'm going to go up to, we're going to set this at, well, let's set it for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Because that was easily 20 minutes lost in that mess. Let's say 50. Okay. $2.15. I worked on this quite a few times, and this I didn't even start it on here. So for all the hours you've seen I've spent on here, what does it say? 2, 4, 6. Good grief! This guy I've spent a lot of time on. He may be more. He might be one of my biggest. Let's see. This Demon Lord of the Knolls I spent almost 12 hours on. The Desert Beholder. Okay, so this is one guy I spent a good chunk of my time on. That guy, he was 12 hours, and I don't even think that's final picks. Come to think of it, that doesn't look fully finished. And then I got the Desert Beholder. I did this one as a gift for my son. He was. I spent a lot of time on him. The eyes came out really good. I like the way the eyes came out. I posted it online. And they're like, "Oh, the eyes are awesome, dude." It's like, thanks, man. But those are two of my biggest ones. 12 hours each. Let's see what else. I have a contest mini here. Let's see what mini did I put in the contest mini. I guess I didn't take any pictures of whatever the heck I put in there. I did do a contest mini, but it's not showing anything. Oh, Carvis. Cars Carval. 15 hours. Oh, you know what? And he didn't even come out that good. He's all right. That was actually kind of, I don't know. Some character, I mean, he looks okay close up when you're holding him, but his face just it didn't look right. And the crown is silver, but it looks like primer. I mean, the picture, I could not get a good picture. He looks okay when you hold the mini, but he don't look good in pictures. So I didn't even submit him. He was a contest mini that I spent a lot of time on, but he wasn't ready. Oh, I spent a lot of time on Santa and Krampus. Now these guys came out pretty good. This is do I have final pictures of Santa even? Oh, I don't even have final pictures of Santa. I got to put some final pics in. I've been making a habit of not taking final pics. Do I have final pics of Krampus in here? No. Krampus looks okay. Krampus was cool, but boy, Krampus is fragile. That staff of his, oh my gosh, kept breaking on me. But Krampus and Santa both came out pretty good in the end. I should probably take some more pics of them, get them in here. But they had lots of hours. They were big figures. Well, Santa was this big. He was big-ish. And Krampus was this big, almost as big as him, and had more fiddly bits. Little stuff to paint. All right. Well, you've had enough of me for one day, so I might be back later. Who knows what I'll be doing later? Who knows? Maybe I'll go back to programming again. Let's see. What was I working on last on the program? Now that, by the way, if you're on YouTube, if you want to watch the programming of my game, who wants to watch programming, right? Well, you can at least see the progress. You check in. What I'm working on there is a football game. It's a sim, game management, but actually allows for the game to be good, but it's not yet. Because I just got all the back end crap done. I've only been working on it for about 2 months, but it's coming out pretty cool. As I add more and more features. Right now I'm working on a play editor so I can add plays to it so that I can add game plans. I already have game plan editor. I'll have to work on that next so I can assign plays to the play editor because I don't have them linked in any way. Right now I'm just putting random numbers in, but I got to link them to the plays so I can pick plays. And then I'm not totally sure. There's some features in React I'm not sure what I can do, but I have bigger plans for the Android version. But once I can add some plays to the play game plans and set up the game plans, then I can work on the coach, which will read the game plans, pull the plays. Then I can finally attach all that to the simulator, who will call the coach and execute the plays, which I already have a simulator, but all it is, it's very generic right now. So I wanted to call actual plays with an actual coach component providing that stuff. And right now it's going to be executed in React. Once I have that going, I'm ready, I think, to take it to Android and start calling that stuff and trying to implement stuff online. But I had one of the big parts is still implementing players, and I haven't gotten around to that yet. That's the next thing when I start getting into the details of how the players are going to work. But most Sims, I have yet to find a game manager, a game that focuses on the GM parts, drafting, training, roster management, the whole bit. I mean, everything you'd want in a GM. Not everything. Some people just go too far. Some of these games are so far in the weeds, it's like you just get blinded by the light. You know, it's too much stuff. I don't know what to do with all that. So I gotta keep focusing on what I want and how it's going to affect the game itself, and then the game becomes center point. And I want to be able to have people want to enjoy watching the game. My goal is to make a cool looking, or at least decently cool looking game that's worth watching. And I have seen games that sim. Big Win Football. Check it out. It's got these guys did a good job with the simulation. Mine will be a little bit more than that. I mean, I kind of like the idea of the way their players move and the way they work. But theirs is kind of simplistic. It's very basic. I mean, it's always the same formations. They might a run or a pass, but they're the same all the time. I don't see any variation in that. Maybe someday they'll put some variation in that. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's not like you get to pick your plays or playbook, or you don't get to do anything to the game other than pick these weird little things that enhance or change stuff. But if you pick game plans, that's what my game will do. It's going to allow. I'm creating the functionality that will allow players to move on the field according to game plays. And then it's just a matter of figuring out how to render all that, and that's going to be new to me. That's graphic stuff. That's artistic stuff, visual skill stuff. Not my forte, but I'm going to have to make it a little bit so. So anyway, and I have no idea how. It's not even so much getting the players to move, right? It's a lot of it's getting cool looking players on the field. I don't know how that's going to be, because that's art. That's art too. Well, we'll get there. We're a long way from that. I want to just get things moving on the field. If all I got was smooth looking dots, I'd be happy. Because right now all the sims I've seen are terrible. They don't even put dots on the field. It's just, yeah. So many GMs. I've looked at so many games. There's so many games. So it's like you have to pick between. It's like right now in this day and age, you're either picking the graphical games or you're picking the GM games. There's nothing that ties them together to mix them both. I'm not talking about Madden. Madden is a play game. This is not a play game. It's a sim game. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. For me, for the next few hours. Till next time, God bless.